count money, man. Stack riches.
What's up, gang? Simon Arias here. Welcome to another episode of the Grindcast. Get ready, it's a new day. We're going to talk about mindset. And so when we start talking about mindset, I'm going to try to put this in perspective, for you. But I think 90% of your climb, it's funny when people start putting percentages on things. So I got to put a disclaimer out there. I don't think I know it all. I am not a doctor in this. I could be 89%. The key is you get the point of this, that the majority of the way, like from whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, 90% of it is skill set. And so I think sometimes people underestimate how important it is to have skill set if they just have mindset and heart. So, I've heard people say, people that haven't, here's one of the biggest things that I've seen it in. People that haven't trained in martial arts, they'll say, oh man, trust me, my brother's a dog, man. He's tough as nails. He would get in there and knock this dude out. Like, that's where they underestimate skill set, and they're putting too much on heart and mindset. And I'm a big believer of heart and mindset. That's all I preach. But I need you to understand, if you give me somebody that is pretty good with their mindset, but they don't really have much skill in that area, and they're running on all heart and mindset, the majority of the time, the person that maybe has 90% very good skill set, and maybe not as great of a mindset as the other person, the person with the skill set more often than not will beat the person with the mindset, because the mindset is the extra stuff that I'm going to talk to you about. That's the stuff that makes you great. But the stuff that's going to get you like in the game is the first 90% is developing your skill set. Okay, so first is using your mindset to develop your skill set. So if you are that mentally tough, you're that tough-minded, no, you're not getting in that ring and beating Conor McGregor because you have a very tough mindset and you've been through a lot of things in your life. You're going to get knocked out, okay, because you don't have the skill set. So you have to use that. You have to go ahead and put that into that mindset into putting the time and daily effort into your skill set. And so sometimes people will say, oh, man, I could do with that person. Well, that person's probably put 7 years, 10 years into their skill set. You got to respect it, because you ain't just going to get great overnight at that. So use the mindset to go get the skill set. Skill set will take you 90% of the way. So if you just zone in on getting great at your skill and you get good, that'll take you 90% of the way. But understand the things that are like the world titles, the millions, the great nonprofit organizations, the great relationships and marriages, the great businesses do not operate as a part of the 90%. They operate as a part of the top 10%. You're going to have to be a part of the top 5%, top 10%, if you want to get some really big dreams and goals accomplished. And so now I want to talk to you guys about what's going to take you in that last 10%. Like, if there's 100 people, you're going to pass 90 of them off your skill set. That last 10 is going to be your mindset. That last 10% is your mindset. And if you don't got the mindset, if you don't got that mental toughness, if you don't got that discipline, if you don't get that eye of the tiger, good news is you can get some of this stuff. If you don't focus on getting this, you cannot be the GOAT. That takes mindset. Those last 5 yards, that goal line, that's why it's so hard to score inside the 10-yard line. Like, you ever see football teams drive it all the way down and then they get inside the red zone? They get inside that 10-yard line, they can't score. Everybody's life is on the line. Everybody's it's death, do or die. You can't throw it as far. It shrinks the field. Everything gets tough. So that last 10%, baby, that's grit. That's mindset. And so I want to encourage you out there to check yourself. First, put the work in and don't underestimate getting the skill set. Go get that skill set. That's just the beginning. Now the mindset got to kick in. Now you got to be willing to sacrifice. Now you got to be willing to endure. You have to be willing to have a no excuse mentality. Like, the minute something don't work out, you can't say, oh, it was because of traffic. Oh, it's because I didn't get any sleep. Oh, it was because of this. Oh, because of that. Everybody got reasons and excuses. If you want to be a part of that that mindset that I'm talking about, live a no excuse life. Get the job done. Period. Find a way to win. Winners win. Winners find a way to get the job done. Mindset is going to take discipline. Doing stuff you don't feel like doing. When you don't feel like doing it. Making sacrifices, things you want to do, things you want to attend. Sleep, the extra sleep you want to get. Like sacrificing all these things in order to get some. That's part of that mindset. When that mental talk starts going on, why does this happen to me? Why do I have to go through this? Why is this so hard? Like winning that mental battle, that's that mindset. Everybody's going to go through some hard, like you got to handle this. You got to win that self-talk game. This is that mindset. That mindset takes over when you're uncomfortable. Like what did you tell yourself you were going to do when you were uncomfortable or when you were comfortable? Like when you were in your comfort zone, what did you write down that you were going to do? That last 10% is when you're not in your comfort zone anymore. How do you respond? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. How many things just in the last 2 weeks can you think of that in your comfort zone you said, I'm going to start working out 3 days a week. It got cold out, it snowed, you didn't get as much sleep because your baby was crying, you didn't get it done. You make excuses. Like how many things have you told yourself in your comfort zone? What are you going to draw a line in the sand about right now? Like go ahead and start. There's so much power in writing things down. Write it down. What are the things that you need to be more disciplined about? What are the things that you've been making excuses about? What are the things that are the top 5, 10% of this world going to do that you're going to do? Make a decision right now. And then as soon as you get uncomfortable, push yourself. That's what I'm talking about with that mindset. So let me give you a couple tips that can help your mindset. One thing is try to get the best information like daily on that topic. Like just getting the mindset. So if it's motivation, mindset, you need to be plugged into YouTube, plugged into podcasts daily. Keeping yourself up, keeping yourself motivated. Now, don't underestimate skill set. Skill set's more important than the mindset. But I'm talking about once you got the skill set and it's mental battle time, daily, pour into yourself. Next thing that I think that you can do, second thing, find a role model. Find somebody that if it's time to get that mindset on, oh my goodness, can I have some mental therapy from you listeners, my friends out there? Let me tell you what I just had to go through. And I don't ever want to go through this again. I had to get an MRI. I'm claustrophobic. So it's weird, like when I roll jiu-jitsu, it don't bother me that much. But I'm claustrophobic sometimes. In elevators, airplanes, stuff like that. So I don't take nothing. So I get an MRI, and my arm is stuck in this machine, and I'm in this tube. And within 2 minutes, they give me this horn that you squeeze. This like 25-year-old girl, 100 pounds, I honk the horn, whoop, she's looking at me like, what a punk, with all these tattoos and muscles, useless. She pulls me out of this thing, I'm like, man, I don't think I'm going to make it. I mean, just be ready, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. When I got done with this, I told my staff, I told Nat D, I told the staff, I said, I'd rather fight a gorilla to the death before I got to get back in another MRI. So I get in this MRI machine the second time, and I close my eyes, and I'm breathing, and I'm looking out the hole, and I'm thinking of David Goggins, I'm thinking of Navy SEALs, I'm praying, I'm doing everything I could possibly do to make it out of this thing. 2 times I came close, I was like squeezing the thing, and I'm like, nah, I can't do this. I cannot go out like, I can't be this bad. I'm 35 years old, I'm a grown man. That's how bad. And what got me on that tangent was, I think what'll help you with that mindset is finding a role model. Finding people, like I was thinking of David Goggins, I was thinking of Navy SEALs, I was thinking of people like find somebody that you can look up to with their mindset and let that motivate you. I start looking at people, and when I think I'm getting up early at 5:30, they're up at 4 o'clock in the morning. When I think that I'm grinding or going through something hard, I'm looking at these other people and I'm watching them and I'm using it to motivate myself. Next thing I think you could do for that mindset, number 3, I guess if you have it, will be examine your current belief system. Like, talk on it. Like, how some people are like, well, that's just what I believe. That's just who I am. That's just, like, that's ego. That's pride. Too much pride comes before the fall. And so I'm willing to adopt maybe some of the ways that I think and act ain't the right thing. And so you got to always be growing. So I'm going to evaluate what is my mindset and values currently that maybe are not right about sacrifice, about discipline, about sleep, and so talk to a couple people you respect and be willing to get cut. Best way to help that mindset. Let people know that you're going to be able to take constructive criticism. 4th thing, shape your mindset with vision and goals. So what that means is mindset has to kick in when you got to go through some stuff you don't feel like going through. What'll help you is if you think about what's your vision. What's your goals? Like, why are you even going through this? Where do you see yourself in a year? Where do you see yourself in 2 years? What does it look like? What does your life look like when you complete this race? You got to be looking at that stuff to help your mindset. What did you say what's your goals this month? What are the small things you got to do to get you closer to your vision? What are those things? Focusing on your vision, why you're doing it, what it's going to look like, focusing on your goals. Those things are going to help your mindset, because when you need the mindset, you got to get this through your head. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't care if you're training, what you're doing. When you need this 10%, when you need this mindset, it's when you don't feel like doing what needs to happen. I don't feel like running. I don't feel like stretching. I don't feel like putting in this much work. I don't feel like working overtime. I don't feel like driving here. I don't feel like staying up this late. I don't feel like waking up this early. I don't feel like eating this food. Like that last 5-10%, you want to be a champion. This is where the mindset is going to kick in. And so what are your beliefs on that? Do you need to reevaluate those? Talk to some dogs, see what they think. And then the next step, number 5, find your voice. There's some people I could think of right now. And I've learned this over time. So you can train yourself. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. That they're cursing themselves all the time. Oh man, I'm just so tired. Oh man, I just don't feel good. Oh man, I just don't know what I'm going to do. Oh man, I hate this. Oh man, like you have to control your words that come out of your mouth. And you have to control the thoughts that come in to your head. What's that saying? Be careful with your thoughts, because your thoughts become your words. And your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. And your habits form your life. Like that all started with what? Thoughts. Mindset. You want to live a 1% life, you better start thinking like them 1%ers do. And them 1%ers, them top 5%ers, them top 1%ers, their thoughts ain't negative. Their words ain't negative. Like they could be going through the same thing you're going through, and they look for the positive in it and speak life into it. So I'm stuck in traffic, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I was supposed to miss some accident that maybe would have put me in a life or death situation. Maybe I'm supposed to listen to this podcast. Maybe I'm supposed to call my grandmother. Maybe there's a reason that I'm doing this, and let me use this time positively for my life right now instead of looking at the negative. I can tell you one thing. Negative words and negative thoughts are never going to equal a positive life. So it's your choice. Are you thinking positive? Are you speaking positive? Because that'll give you a positive life. If you keep on talking about everything that's wrong, you keep on pointing out why you're tired and drained, you keep on pointing out this is what you're going to get. Don't kill the messenger. Then number 6, protect your mindset. So like once we get that mindset right, we got to protect our mindset. What do you mean by protect your mindset? I believe mindset is like a muscle. You can grow that sucker to be big, be a beast, be tough, and it can also get weaker if you stop developing your mindset. Protect it. Build something around it. So how do I do that? Like, I don't listen when people start telling me, oh, Simon, you're working too hard. You're working out too hard. Why are you boxing so much? Why are you doing this, man? You're going to beat your body up. You're going to be... Now, I listen to some wisdom. But you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at people that I see that are 50. Still fighting, still training, still pushing, still growing. I'm looking at people like that. So I'm protecting my mindset as I'm not trying to be a part of the 95%. I'm looking at the 1%ers and saying there's nothing between me and him. There's nothing between me and her that is any different. If that's what that person's getting, oh my goodness, wait till you see me. The one. I'm talking about the one. I ain't worried about the other 99. I'm worried about the one. And I'm closing the gap on that person and not letting the gap get closed on me. So protect that mindset from other people telling you to chill. Protect that mindset when you start to win and do good, getting a pat on your back, people telling you how great you are. Don't buy it. Humble yourself. Protect your mindset. Keep a chip on your shoulder. The greats, like you look at, why does Tom Brady still play like he's still angry from being an underdog? From having a draft report that said he was weak, from having 12 or 13 quarterbacks get taken before him. Still got a chip on his shoulder. 6th-round draft pick. Walk-ons. Keep that walk-on mentality. It's a blessing. Keep all those obstacles. See, what happens is when you go through things in life, when you go somewhere, everything you've gone through comes with you. It's like when I'm walking around places, I go pick up kids in the projects. Like, I'm comfortable there because I already been through that stuff. I'm coming there, and everything that I've been through is coming with me. Then I come back to the office, I put a suit on, everything's coming with me. I've learned positive experiences to help me there. Like, understand something. That mindset, those obstacles that you've been through, those, if you spin them the right way, you think about it the right way, you use those things, you protect yourself, those become the exact same things that you have, that's your edge. That's what your edge is on everybody else. All the BS that you had to go through becomes your strong suit. Cherish it. Don't waste it. Protect it. Bring it out when you need to. So I think a big piece for me to explain to people is calluses. You know, I remember when I was a freshman lifting weights, I used to have to put the pad on the squat bar, and everybody laughed at you can't use the pad. And everything would hurt. The bar would hurt my hand. The bar would hurt my back. I'm 13 years old. All of a sudden, nothing hurts me. I can put 400 or 500 pounds. It doesn't bother me. I can carry these weights. It doesn't bother me because there's calluses on my hands. There's calluses up there. What happens is it's uncomfortable things that used to rip you apart, that over time, if you don't quit and you keep doing it, over time you develop calluses and it doesn't bother you anymore. So I got news for you. In life, you're going to have to carry a bunch of weight. You're going to have to go through a bunch of stuff. Carrying weights in your hands, carrying the weight of the world on your back. There's going to be things that, like, it hurts you. But what happens is if you don't quit, like if you quit the first couple times, you don't develop calluses. Calluses happen from over and over and over again, putting your body in a situation to adapt to things that hurt you, that no longer hurt you anymore. And so I developed this in sales. I used to get my feelings all hurt. Somebody would tell me no. That's the biggest battle, I think, in my business, in the sales industry in general, is getting no's. It's not the skill. It's you get in your own mind. You get in your own head. not understanding it's not going to be like this forever. You're going to develop calluses. Shit don't even bother you no more. Like there's things in my life that used to stress me out so bad that I would be over in one 10-minute lunch segment, would never bother me. That used to cost me weeks of my life. I would be so tense, so stressed, so angry, so upset. But now I built these calluses. What you'll find out when you build these calluses, if you don't let yourself get beat, you'll win in the long run. It's all internal. It's an internal battle. Like if there's no enemy within, the enemy out there could do you no harm. Like you're causing the enemy to win. It's yourself. You're beating yourself. You will adapt to whatever's uncomfortable. You will get better at whatever's causing you issues or pain or struggle or like if you just keep doing it, you're going to develop calluses. So think about areas of your life where you're getting your feelings hurt, you're getting upset, you're avoiding things that you need to do that are going to cause you to grow, that you're going to start developing calluses in. Get 100 no's. You ain't going to die. You'll get 30 or 40 yeses on the way. And it won't hurt you when you get to 101 as bad as it did on your first one. Get 1,000 no's. Miss 1,000 times. It ain't going to hurt you as much on 1,001 as it did on 10. Your body will adapt. Your mind will adapt. And understand you're not going to. I need you to not stop right now. I watch so many people with so much potential lose right here in this little moment right here. This is what I'm talking about. They got it all. They got the skill set. They got the talent. They're getting the mindset. They got an opportunity. The ball's in their hands. They've shown that they can score. Over the course of the game, they get worn out. They're not a 4-down back. They can't bring it in the fourth quarter. They've gotten worn out by life's hits, by the weight of carrying life. Those calluses they haven't allowed, so they let go of the weight. They say, I'm never going to do this again. And you know what? I'm going to put gloves on. I'm going to get comfortable. I'm going to go back. And then when you start getting comfortable, all that muscle you just built up, all them calluses you were about to build goes away, and you get into a place of comfort where there's no growth in your comfort zone. You go to a life average. And so I want to encourage you on your journey, keep developing them calluses. Find out what it is that you're trying to do. What is the vision? What is the reason why? What is your purpose and reason why you're going to do this thing in your vision, and stick to it? No negotiations. No discounts. Like once you wrote out that vision, once you wrote out them goals, you start to develop the skill set. Mindset needs to kick in. You already decided in the beginning, I'm sticking to this. I will not quit. I will not lose. And watch what happens. Greatness starts and ends in your mind. It's a decision in the beginning to develop the skill set. It's a decision in the end or in the back half to have the mindset of a freaking warrior. To have a mindset of a champion. To have a mindset of a 1%er and not be listening to them 99%ers. Not be trying to creep back into saying I'm better than 90%. I'm doing better than 90%. I'm saying no, I'm getting beat by 9%. If I'm in the top 10%. If I'm in the top 5, I'm saying I'm getting beat by 5%. How? How? Why? How can I be okay with this? And if we aim for that mindset, you're going to find yourself in a place where you're maximizing your talents and gifts. The reason why you're put on this earth. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Feel like the older I get, every couple of weeks somebody's dying that I know. Like somebody that I know has somebody dying. Like we're not promised tomorrow. I can't take it all with me. You can't take it all with you. We can't take all this money. We can't even take our skills with us. You just take your spirit with you. Give away them skills to other people. Give away your gift and give it and maximize what has been breathed into you. Maximize your life and make the most out of the talents that you've been given on the brief period of time that we're allowed to live on this earth. I need a favor from you. Please, if you've listened to this and you've invested 20, 30, 40 minutes of your time, I hope that you think it was worth it. It was a good investment. If so, the only thing that I ask is, can you please share this with somebody else? Can you subscribe, comment? Can you share it with somebody else? Can you help me to grow this so I can just continue my mission of helping as many people possible, from an imperfect person to other imperfect people, just to show them some things that I've learned around the way. I think we can help some people. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I think it's just Simon Arias on Instagram, and find me on Facebook, and if you do any of that social media stuff too. So thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Grindcast. Get ready, it's a new day.
Count money, man. Stack riches.